watching, solving mysteries in the night. Chasing shadows, finding answers, shining bright light. No one's left behind, in the darkness all alone. With a heart like a siren, she brings the lost ones home. Silent cries in the dark no longer have to be, for justice wheels keep turning, granted on the beat. Broken voices find their power, call out hope again. Then these crime busters run, no victims left in pain. Bravery in her veins, true she won't disguise. With a fire in her eyes, she's got nothing to deny. Credit fights for justice, never backs down from the call. For the voiceless and the missing, she'll stand tall.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing today? I hope you're all doing wonderful. So let me check here. All right. Hello, Ginger, Lori, good to see you. Anna, welcome in. Happy to have you. Good to see everybody and those who are out in the bushes there. We're happy to have you guys. So, yes, we are going to listen to Hello, Fran. The call or the video or the audio, whatever, of Janie. But we're going to look at it in the same way that Deception Detective or Mike Demand would look at it, because Mike is actually going to be doing a video tonight on it at 8 p.m., which I was really wishing he would have done it this afternoon so we could watch it, but we'll watch it tomorrow night. So we are going, hello, Walla, good to see you. So we are going to do it and see how close we come to what Mike has to say tomorrow night. So it ought to be interesting. I don't know how far we'll get through it, but we will listen to at least part of it. But let's go ahead and do our spotlight on the missing. We have Anthony Salvador Miranda, missing since July 15th, 2025. He's 16 years old, last seen in Spotsylvania County, Virginia. That's a weird name. Almost sounds like Transylvania County, right? He's only 16. This picture, he looks like a young man in his 20s, doesn't he, to me? I don't know. Anthony was last seen wearing a white shirt, black shorts. He was last known to be traveling on foot, and he may be in need of medical attention. So if anybody knows anything, please call the Spotsylvania County, Virginia Police Department, Sheriff's Department, or 911 if you do know anything. We need to get our kids home. All right. Let's not forget about 21-year-old autistic male Jonathan Wang. He is believed to be in the Kirkland, Washington area. And guys, even though he is high functioning, and while he does respond to his name, he does present himself as a 10-year-old. His social interactions have been mostly with his parents, immediate family, guys. So he's not able to take care of himself. He really needs to be home with his family, and they're very worried. If anybody sees him or thinks they see him, call 911 immediately. Let's not forget our little buddy, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, $500,000 reward for Sebastian's location, guys. He needs to be home with his dad, Seth. He just really does. His dad seems to be the one person in the family who is fighting to find him. following all tips and leads. Sumner County Sheriff's Department is not doing anything. They need to be removed from the case, and their department needs to be investigated for corruption, in my opinion. But in the meantime, please, Seth is asking for everybody to email this flyer to 10 people and ask those 10 people to email it to 10 people to keep Sebastian's face out there. And so I'm asking everybody to do that as well. My porch is still lit up green ever since the beginning of when I first learned about Sebastian's case. And I put out shorts every day to keep Sebastian's face and name out there. Travis Decker still has not been found. We don't know if he's dead or alive. He's wanted for 3 counts of first-degree red rum and first-degree kidnapping. He took the lives of his 3 little girls seen here with their mom, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. And so if anybody knows or sees Travis, do not approach. He's considered to be very armed and very dangerous, and just call 911 immediately. All right. Yeah, I agree. It's been tough. Hello, Trees. Good to see you. Let's see. Anything else I missed? Yeah, it's been chilly today. But we are experiencing, most of our state is under or tornado watch. So if I should just suddenly go boop, just know that it's not me. It's probably the weather, and I will let you guys all know that I'm okay. But just fair warning in case something happens. The other night after our live, electricity went out for, I don't know, like 30 seconds, and long enough to have to reset everything. So we'll see what happens, right? Hello, Truth and Beauty. Good to see you. So I did want to discuss something before we even get started, because I know there's so much going on. Screaming hot here. Yeah, bad air. Yeah, it was screaming hot here yesterday. It was in the 90s. But today it's it's cool, right? But it's taking a while for my apartment to cool down. So you always get storms when the weather cools down after it's been really hot. Always can expect bad weather, right? It's just a given. Okay. So I did want to just kind of go over a little bit, in every true crime investigation, and these are something that Ginger and I will be posting here and there. The victims are always the main focus here at Granny's Crime Buster. We're here for them and to investigate the many pieces of evidence that led up to the crime. The multiple players and witnesses in the case are just sources of information for commentary, analysis, and discussion. Okay. And yes, I do have a heart for the lost, the missing, and the victims, and I try to tell the facts of each crime. Here at Granny's Crime Busters, we're not about judging or cutting down other true crime personalities on YouTube. So please do not bring other YouTube personalities into the chat. That's all I ask, okay? I don't think I even have to say let's be kind to each other, because you guys are. We only have the random person that comes in that doesn't last long if they don't remain kind, right? Yeah, prayer warrior. That's how it was for us yesterday. Very little wind and just hot, hot, hot. It was awful. So I don't know where you are, but today we are experiencing cooler weather with rain. So, but storms, tornado watches, and all kinds of fun stuff. So, yes, Ginger is posting what I just said. I just wanted to preface that because I don't want, and I said it yesterday, I don't want to get into any kind of I, I don't know, argument, disagreement with any creators, right? Or any other channels. That's not what we're here to do. So I just wanted to make that clear. So, having said that, we have gotten news from Nova Scotia, RCMP. So let's go ahead, share my screen, and see what this lady has to say. Okay, I only listened to a very little part of it, so I'm going to be reacting in real time right along with you guys. All right. I'd love your rain, but not tornadoes. I hear ya. I hear ya. Yeah, I don't like tornadoes either, but um I don't know. When I think I'd rather have a chance of thunderstorms versus having earthquakes or hurricanes or something. So, but because tornadoes are hit and miss, right? But hurricanes, if you're directly in the path, I mean, earthquakes, yeah, between those couple, I think I'd rather take the chance on a tornado. You're in New York and it's hot here. So if the weather moves north, and I'm thinking you guys could be cool tomorrow. So hang on. Oh, wow. Yeah. You definitely need some rain, don't you, Ginger? All right. Let's listen to what the news is. And we're also going to read a news article as well.
Scotia RCMP's intensive investigation into the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan continues. The investigative team in the Northeast Nova RCMP Major Crimes Unit is leading the investigational efforts under the Missing Persons Act. They are assisted by RCMP units in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Ontario, along with the National Centre for Missing Persons and Unidentified Remains, the Canadian Centre for Child Protection, and provincial and municipal police agencies from Nova Scotia and other parts of Canada. Their efforts include reviewing approximately 5,000 video files that have been obtained through a video canvas of Lansdowne Station and the surrounding areas, assessing more than 600 tips from the public, formally interviewing more than 60 people, including the administration of polygraph tests to some individuals, forensic examination of materials located through ground and air searches in Lansdowne Station, including a pink blanket that officers seized on Lansdowne Road, and submitting judicial authorizations to seize and examine materials and devices that may provide information useful to the investigation.
That is the first time they have mentioned the pink blanket, guys. I find that very interesting. Forensic evaluation.
Right now, there are more than 800 tasks associated to this investigation. A tremendous amount of careful, deliberate investigative work is underway by people here at home and in other parts of Canada. Our collective efforts will continue every day until we determine with certainty the circumstances surrounding Lilly and Jack's disappearance. Investigators encourage anyone with specific information on the whereabouts of Lilly and Jack to call the Northeast Nova RCMP Major Crime Unit. To remain anonymous, contact Nova Scotia Crime Stoppers either by phone, through their website, or use the P3 Tips app.
People close to the investigation have expressed concern that the case now lacks urgency. How do you respond to that?
An RCMP family liaison is in regular contact with a designated relative of Lilly and Jack. The RCMP family liaison provides ongoing updates and support to the family so that they are aware of what is going on with the investigation and the information that can be provided to them. The family liaison officer is a member of Major Crimes. So information is absolutely provided to the family.
The family liaison officer is a member of Major Crimes. Wow. Wow. That's interesting. Let's just listen to that piece again.
Of Major Crimes. So information is this is going on with the investigation and the information that can be provided to them. The family liaison officer is a member of Major Crimes. So
family liaison officer is a member of Major Crimes. Okay, so I don't understand the significance of the blanket if it actually has been thrown out a week prior. We don't know when it was thrown out though. Do we, prayer warriors? Somebody said it was on the window the morning when the kids went missing. I don't know. Hello, Brenda Joe. Good to see you. Hope you're feeling better. So, I mean, and I don't know if that's true. Somebody said they saw a picture of the pink blanket. I have not seen that. But I think it could be, you know, the fact that they are doing forensic analysis on it. I agree with Anne Elizabeth. I think it's very important. Guys, they wouldn't be wasting their time on that. Time and resources on it if they didn't think that that blanket wasn't important. What does what mean, Tosima? And hello, by the way, good to see you. I also read that they found some torn pieces of clothing near the blanket. That's scary, isn't it? I haven't heard that yet, but Daniel said he threw it out at least a week ago. Just asking because it was thrown out, then what's the deal? They said the blanket from the road, not the residence. But as far, do we know if Daniel threw it out a week ago or if he threw it away that morning? Daniel has said a lot of things and backtracked on things, so I'm just saying. That's right. First they said it was Lily's, and then they said, first Daniel said it wasn't Lily's, then they both backtracked and said it was. Daniel said it before. Probably said that. I'm not disputing that he said that. I just don't know that I trust everything Daniel says. That's my opinion. If you guys want to believe that what he's saying, then that's up to you. Guys, I'm just going to be honest. I have a really hard time trusting anything that Daniel says at this point. I really do. I think so too. I think for them to mention it, it is significant to the case. Hello, Lily. Good to see you. Welcome in. The liaison, why is that important? Oh, you mean is a member of major crimes? Because the RCMP, the family liaison officer could just be a member of the RCMP. But the fact that the liaison officer is actually a member of major crimes tells me that they are looking at this as a criminal investigation versus any kind of because if it was just a missing children investigation, they would just have an RCMP officer, patrol officer, be their liaison officer. Well, I find that funny, Lily. There are also claims that Malaya's family planted that since they were the ones that found it. But here's my question. I mean, so that's hearsay, right? Something somebody said. Here's something that Janie said, that her and Justin found Daniel on the pipeline, which was right near where the blanket was. And then he got on and rode back with them to someplace. I forget, but we'll listen to that today. So was he out there planting evidence? I mean, I don't know. What was he doing? So, I mean, just as though somebody's saying that Malaya's family planted it, well, Daniel was actually seen in the pipeline by his own mother. Hey, Ginger. We talked about something earlier today. Just keep an eye, okay? I think you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we know nothing about what Daniel is saying, for sure. Hello, Explorer. Good to see you. Well, I think we're going to have to agree to disagree on that one because they haven't mentioned any other evidence. And there's been a lot of talk about the pink blanket, so why are they bringing it up? There's something important about it, in my opinion. A Dairy Queen run. Hello, Neuro. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. Just hang on with me. Yeah, Tammy, we're not going to discuss that, okay? I appreciate it. I just don't want to be in the middle. Well, forensics, so they're doing forensic analysis on it. Prints could be fluids, could be anything. No, not too much, Lori. Hello, Osprey. Good to see you. Okay, so let's finish up here. I think we're just about near the
Information
end.
is absolutely provided to the family through the people who have been designated to share those communications.
All right. So that one's done. Just kind of wanted to go to this written article. So their efforts include, well, first of all, I like that the RCMP they're utilizing other units, other since the investigative team in the Northeast Nova RCMP Major Crime Unit is leading the investigation efforts under the Missing Persons Act. They're assisted by RCMP units in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Ontario, along with the National Center for Missing Persons, Canadian Center for Child Protection, and provincial and municipal police agencies from Nova Scotia and other parts of Canada. Their efforts include revealing approximately 5,000 video files that have been obtained through video cameras of Lansdowne Station and surrounding areas, assessing more than 600 tips from the public. So, some people have said, wonder what they're doing. This is a lot of work, guys. When you're going through 5,000 video files alone, that's a long, boring job, because sometimes you're just watching trail cams to see if something, but you can't look away because you could miss something. Whoops. All right. Assessing more than 600 tips from the public, formally interviewing more than 60 people, including the administration of polygraph to some individuals. So please, somebody asked me last time, did they do 60 polygraphs? No. They interviewed 60 people, but they administered polygraphs to some individuals. In my opinion, some is like a handful. Forensic examination of materials located through ground and air searches in Lansdowne Station included a pink blanket that officers seized on Lansdowne Road. Now, see, this is talking about the one that they found. Okay. Seized on Lansdowne Road. Submitting judicial authorizations to seize and examine materials and devices that may provide information useful to the investigation. Right now, there are more than 800 tasks associated to this investigation. A tremendous amount of careful, deliberate investigative work is underway by people here at home and in other parts of Canada. Our collective efforts will continue every day until we determine with certainty the circumstances surrounding Lilly and Jack's disappearance. And then, of course, and I've got it scrolling along the bottom as well as it's in our chat. What you can do if you have any tips and if you want to remain anonymous. So, I just want to say that I really think, and I'm grateful they keep coming out with more information, guys. Yes, major crimes in Canada is kind of like the homicide. So you see what I'm missing? Wow. Okay. Yes, opinions in chat may not, I'm just going to say that, may not necessarily be the opinions of Granny's Crime Busters. I agree. They want this case to be ironclad, no stone unturned, I's dotted, T's crossed. I think they're doing an excellent job. Very thorough. They don't have an ego problem like Sumner County does. They have people working with them, right? They're not afraid to ask for help. And they're letting us know what they're doing without giving away details. That's a good point, Anon. Trace evidence of where the object has been. Yes. Really? Okay. That's strange. Do you think it's too loud, Ginger? Oh, my connections are good. It's a planted lead. Wallace saying, we already know someone at the very least has guilty knowledge. Also, still both admit being negligent. Yeah, it's hard to know. It would have Daniel and Malaya's DNA on it. They live in the same residence. They handle it. They've washed it. It's valuable info. Yeah. Not only that, but God forbid if the children were at any point wrapped in that blanket, things could come out in regards to that blanket. Yeah, sorry guys, my sound. We are having storms here. Nothing, all of my connections and everything are set the way they always are. Everything is plugged in the way it should be and is tight. So there's nothing I can do to fix it. If it gets too bad, let me know. We'll just have to cancel this until the weather's better is all I can do. It would be interesting to know who had to do polys. Daniel, Malaya, Janie, Justin, Logan, Haley, Cindy. I mean, I don't know. We don't know, guys. Yeah, that's a good point, Trees. Did they take the whole garbage? I mean, I don't know. They probably went through it either way. Yeah. Can you imagine? I would not want that job. Oh, more and more I think about what police have to go through, guys, there's no way. I would not want to do it. There's things like this. I would not want to go through some garbage. No, thank you. Um, I thought the same thing when I thought about the Idaho 4 crime scene, what that must have looked like, and having to walk in there. I can't even imagine. So, oh, I, kudos to law enforcement for everything that they do on a daily basis, everything that they endure, everything that they have to do to solve crimes. I can't even imagine. Can't even imagine. Yes, guys, please use IMO and allegedly in your comments. We gather facts and respectfully hypothesize, collaborate, and speculate on true crime cases. What date did this release? Let me look. I think it was today, guys. Yes, it was today, July 16th. RCMP media release. And this, the video that I showed of the officer basically reading reading this one was released 4 hours ago. So this is hot off the press, guys. Hot off the press. Yeah, it was released today. And the video was released 4 hours ago. Hello, Bobby. We're just talking about the news release. Tammy, what I meant was that we're not talking about other creators in a negative way, even if we're not saying anything, saying their names. We're just not going to talk about any creators at all in a negative manner. That's kind of what I was talking about. And I know you did not mention names, so we're good. Yeah, the liaison officer usually touches base with the family most times every day. So sound is good. Okay. What do people know about Justin? Yeah, I don't know. You're talking about Daniel's brother explorer, right? Yes. I heard that his home with his wife and children is not far from where Daniel lives. But he's going through a divorce, and I heard, and this is all hearsay. There's nothing to back this up, guys, so don't take it as fact. I will always tell you if something's a fact. But if it's hearsay, I'm going to tell you it's hearsay, that there's nothing to back it up, and there is nothing to back it up. But I heard that he was living with, whether it's Daniel and Malaya in the trailer or his mom in the RV, I don't know which, but that he was living on the property. So I don't know if that's, I've heard different stories. It is chilly, and we've got tornado watches going on as I speak. See if I can show you guys. So this one right here. Yeah. This one right here shows me, shows my state. We are in, yeah, tornado outbreak alley. Not good. Not good. So yeah, but all I can really tell you is that the weather outside, you know how when you go outside and it just feels unstable? That's what it feels like. Hello, just me. Good to see you. Why is no one talking about Justin? I think because he's not talking. It just dawned on me. He's not talking. It's hard, it's kind of like Malaya, right? Malaya is talked about because she's the mother, but she's not really saying anything. And so we have Justin over here. I mean, we've got Janie who's talking now. But Justin isn't talking. We know that allegedly he was crying in the driveway. And was it Monday after the kids went missing? Aaron, Lindsay, good to see you. Belinda mentioned that Justin was seen crying on Monday, yet Janie said he was crying because she was crying on Friday or Saturday. All right, let's just get to it, guys. We're going to listen to what Janie has to say. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that we're going to get along. I'm breathing up, Granny. Okay, I think maybe I need to turn down my mic. Hopefully that'll help. I don't know. One more thing I can do here. Is that a little better? All right. Hello, Sandra. Good to see you. I'm interested in his involvement as well. Does anyone recall Durwood saying early on that the children are safe and on a reserve, that they will be given new identities and will look different, and we won't know until age 18. Well, that's a load of bull, in my opinion. Number one, I don't believe they're on a reserve anywhere. I just don't believe that. Yes, I did talk about the release already. You know, the whole family lives all around there. Their dad, Earl, lives just down the road. We heard that Justin doesn't live very far away. So could be anywhere. All right. So let's go ahead, listen to Janie and
I've been holding this in for 2 months until Thursday when I gave my interview. The reason why I've been doing this is the investigators advised me not to speak to anybody because of their investigation. But it's been over 2 months now. I find the investigators are not telling us anything. They put only one report out since all this happened. They are not giving us any updates. I'm tired. I can't deal with this because they are keeping stuff to themselves, which the public should know. We should know what is happening.
sorry, guys. I'm muting because I'm trying to mute my mic. I think that's what's causing the issues tonight. But so I think she lied because we know that they have updated people. I don't know how many times. I'd have to go back and look. But last count was like 8 or 9 times. So, and they did another update today. So that is deception right there. Okay. And then they don't have to, the family liaison officer is probably working with Malaya. They don't have to tell Daniel or Janie anything. They are not family to those children. So they don't have to tell Daniel or Janie anything. You want to hear that again? Okay. could be, Asprey, could be. And why? That's a good point, Ginger. Why would the RCMP be talking to persons of interest about the case? Seriously, think about it. Daniel was nothing to those kids. He may have thought he was something, but they were not married. Okay? They were not married. RCMP does not have to give him any information. Hello, Valerie. Welcome in. I was in another channel and Belinda was in there and she said why Janie was angry because Malaya was the only family member getting updates. Well, awesome. Thank you for sharing that. She should be the only one getting. She was the only one on that property that day that was related to those kids when they went missing. This is Janie. Okay, so yes, we can listen to that again. Let me.
In for 2 months until Thursday when I gave my interview. The reason why I've been doing this is the investigators advised me not to speak to anybody because of their investigation. But it's been over 2 months now. I find the investigators are not telling us anything. They put only one report out since all this happened. They are not giving us any.
Such a lie. Only one report out since all this happened. That is such a lie right there. Such a lie.
Updates. I'm tired. I can't deal with this because they are keeping stuff to themselves, which the public should know. We should know what is happening.
No, that statement right there on the screen, we should know what is happening. I do not, for the life of me, understand why people think that the public should know. And guys, she is a person of interest in the case, but she's not family. So she doesn't have a right to know anything. Seriously. Seriously. Hello, Renee Harper. Good to see you. So, I mean, if they were giving them information, I would be concerned with RCMP, honestly. I would really be, they are being nice to Daniel because they want to keep him on a short leash with just enough rain. You catch more flies with honey. So they let him think that, he's one of them kind of thing until they reel him in. I think she means she should know she and Daniel can come up with the next story. Hello, Joe. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is crazy. So let's continue on. Remember, guys, we're looking at this as statement analysis. We're trying to see if there's any deception. So far, we found one. If I were her, I would have been afraid to go on and say they've only did one update since this whole thing started, because that's just not true. All of us here in Granny's Crime Busters know that that's not true. That is not true. So, I mean, we keep up with every single update here, right? So, crazy. Let's continue.
I don't believe Malaya took that picture. I believe it was a drone. The same drone that took the picture of the property. I wasn't around when it happened, but I'm believing it was a drone that took the picture of Daniel and Justin on the ATV. There is something else I have to clear up about the ATV. The ATV has not been on this property in the last 5 years or so. Because my neighbor, which I'm not going to mention, is known for stealing property. And that was one thing that I did not want him to take. And I also want to mention too, someone, I can't tell you who, has broken in when Daniel and I were away, has broken in to our trailer and have taken a few things. I'm not going to say what they are, but have taken a few things.
Someone broke in and took what, guys? What do you think they took? You haven't seen the picture? I have never screenshotted it, but I have seen it. Picture of Daniel and Justin on the actually Justin is lounging back on the ATV with his hands behind his head. And Daniel's kind of leaning over on the ATV. The three amigos. Oh, the picture's been all over. So, and yes, mentions a neighbor. That's, if you can't prove that, you might want to be careful what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? If you cannot prove that neighbor steals things, you might not want to be saying it publicly. Of course, I don't think she meant for any of this to go public, and it has. It's everywhere now. Dirty dishes? Did they steal dirty dishes? I don't know. Did they steal some gummies, some candy? I don't know. Is Durwood Janie's brother? God only knows who Durwood is. I don't know. Gee, they must be loved in their neighborhood, right? Oh dear, another bad neighbor. Being in a chat room with 1,000 people, I wouldn't trust a storyline in there. Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't understand why she did that. I mean, it's not like she knew those 1,000 people in chat. Right? So, why not just talk to the public then? It's always going to come out anyway, so I don't know. I don't understand that whole blow up. I don't get it. I would not even be showing it, except that you can see it's on Facebook. That's where I'm pulling it up from, and the link to that is in the description down below underneath my video here. So I always put the links in there. Yeah, obviously she did care though. I heard she left the group or something. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? It doesn't matter at this point. None of this really helps us find Lilly and Jack, unless she gives us some kind of information to go off of. But so far, I mean, we weren't even a minute into this and we found a deception already. So, I mean, Aaron, I agree, right? They're trying to win public opinion, but honestly, they're just hurting themselves. They're listening to people who say, you need to talk, you need to come on and clear things up. No, that never. Have you ever seen family members of a missing child get on YouTube to clear things up and have it go well? I'll give you a minute. Because it never has, guys. It never has gone well, ever. And if you can find something that it has gone well, let me know. I'll be glad to say I was wrong, but I just have never seen it go well for anybody. So, all right, let's continue on here.
And this has all been reported to the investigators. And yes, we still have drones that fly over or that are over our place. It's usually Friday and Saturday nights, mostly. So if the people out there that are flying the drones, if you like to watch a 60-year-old woman on a Friday and Saturday night and have nothing better to do, you go ahead.
I just have to say, guys, if it's the RCMP watching them with drones, fine. But if there are random neighbors or people or out there trying to watch them with drones, my advice would be stop it. Just stop it. It's not our business. It's only RCMP, law enforcement. They are the ones that, can look after Janie, Daniel, Justin, whoever they think might be involved, right? It's not up to us. That's wrong, in my opinion. For a random person or a neighbor to be flying drones over somebody else's property to keep an eye on them. She's paranoid. Oh, she could be. Yeah, it's not right. Right? I may not agree with Janie. I may not think that she is telling the complete truth. I may not trust everything that she is saying. However, she has a right to her privacy like anybody else. The kids are gone. It's a little bit late to be putting a drone around their property right now, in my opinion.
And I'd like to say something else. And for all the people that are driving by, taking pictures of my property and taking pictures to see that what we're doing in the yard, I'm going to let you guys know I am scared of being in my own place because I stick mostly to my RV and my backyard because I never know that when somebody's going to blame us for what's going on, or blame me, I should say, I am scared to death that somebody's going to come along and do something to me while I'm in my yard. That's how scared I am now.
What do you think, guys? No one should have to feel scared. But if being scared is because of something she may have done, then that's on her. But if it's because people are coming by taking pictures and doing drones and all that other stuff, I mean, think about it. If that was happening to you, wouldn't you be scared? I would be. If I looked out my window and I'm on the second floor, it's a big house. I looked out my window and there was a drone hovering outside my window taking pictures of me. I'd be scared. Drones from the Department of Highways checking on the pothole situation. Yeah. Well, I get that too, but well, I'm glad. I'm glad you like it, Explore. That's what I really try to do here, because I try to stick to the facts. It's okay to speculate. It's okay to wonder, but I always try to let people know, basically, if it's hearsay, it's hearsay. It's not going to hold up. It is awful that she's being harassed, but even more reason for her other grandchildren. I agree. I agree. Right? Why, you know, if this is truly happening, right? If this is truly happening around her, then why would she want her other grandchildren to come there? But, in all fairness, maybe she'd be willing to go somewhere else to see them if that's the case, but evidently she's not able to see them. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Um, and you're right. It is about Lily and Jack, right? Were they scared? Yeah, it would get to you, right? But Osprey brings up a good point, But she's in a hard place. She's talking, and she's just honestly saying how it feels to have somebody watching her all the time. That'd be scary. Does that mean she's not thinking about Lily and Jack? I don't know. I haven't gotten through all these yet, so let's just continue on. Oh, isn't that the truth, prayer warrior? The court of public opinion isn't always a safe place to be. In every true crime investigation, the victims are the main focus. Absolutely. You bring up a good point. She hasn't mentioned their names yet. We are 3 minutes in, and their names haven't been mentioned yet. So let's continue on.
Oh, all these here interviews that Daniel have done, I am scared for him too. I'm scared it will turn out to be like a porta pack. That's what I am scared of. I told the investigators this, and they more or less can't do anything about it because they're on public property, If they step foot on my property, then there's something I can do.
So she has told the police about it.
Yes, I believe the kids are alive. And the reason why I believe the kids are alive is because my heart is telling me they are alive. If they are deceased, I would have, just like everybody else, you'd have this feeling in your heart that you can't explain. And your gut feeling. But
she's not even relation to them. And in her heart, she feels they're alive. But Belinda, who is blood related to them, doesn't feel they're with us anymore. Who's right? Who's wrong? And she said the kids. She didn't name them.
No, I definitely believe the kids are not deceased.
Again,
I believe they are alive. Where they are, I cannot tell you. As I said before, if I knew where the kids were, I would go and get them. I would not care what kind of shit I got into. I would go and get them. And there's another thing that I would like to put out there. I would like whoever has the kids or whoever knows where the kids are, please, if they want to and they want to get out of trouble, please drop them off where they pick them up at nighttime. We do not have cameras. We do not have an outside street light. It is pure dark. If you watch a video of someone that saw me supposedly filling potholes in, how dark it is, because they drove by to show everybody how dark it is. If they want to drop the kids off of here, and if they got the kids to yell, my dog would let me know that they're out there. I will go get them and I will make sure they are safe. The only thing I can tell you about that is I had nothing to do with Jack and Lily's disappearance. I know Daniel did not have anything to do with Jack and Lily's disappearance. The reason I know that, I know in my heart that Daniel would not harm those children. The answer relies with Malaya. She hasn't spoke up. She hasn't come and she hasn't said anything about all this. That's all I have to say. The rest of the answers to all your questions rely with Malaya.
Okay, so we will go to the next one in just a minute here. Interesting, very interesting. Well, thank you, Drippy Thoughtsicles. Welcome in, and we are so happy to have you here, and thank you for gifting a membership. Let me...
Granny wants to thank you all for kindness in the chat. Super stickers, bright and grand, gifts of love we understand.
Memberships you gifted here spread the joy and banish fear. Every super thanks you send warms her heart and ends the end.
Granny cheers with love so true for each special thing you do. Thank you from her heart. You all play a major part.
Thank you, Drippy. That's so kind. I appreciate that so much. All right. So let's see where I'm missing. Okay. Lily, you want to fly a drone over my place? I will give you something to look at. That's funny. Investigation before condemnation. Well, she did call authorities, it sounded like. That's what she said. She did finally say their names, right? Hello, Jump As. Good to see you. Someone that feels scared is usually guilty of something. Yeah. And the other thing is, she acts like she's all alone on her property. She's not. She's got Daniel and Justin there, as far as I'm aware. So she's not all alone on her property. You bring up a really good point. The only person she should be talking to, and by the way, hello, Jersey lady, good to see you, is law enforcement. The more people talk complaining online, the more people seeing that will want to drive by themselves. Yeah. I was just trying to think if I lived anywhere near there, would I want to drive by? I don't know. Maybe once. I hate to admit that. I'm curious just like everybody else would be, but I wouldn't keep going back there. What, Ginger? What did she say that? Oh, I thought yeah, I was wondering what she said too. Did she say porta potty? Is that what she said? I'm just curious. Yeah, exactly. I didn't make out what she said there either. Porta packed, porta something. I I immediately went to porta potty. Yeah, my heart, my heart. And what could they take from there? Somebody said dirty dishes earlier. I mean, yeah. Longest 10 minutes ever. Well, welcome in, Drippy. Wait until I hear what she says about Lilly. I have heard rumors of what she said. The rattling that she keeps doing, she's going off a script. She's turning the page on her notebook. So I'm just trying to get caught up with you guys. Her heart is in direct conflict with Belinda's heart. Is there a reason that her and Daniel need to make sure that the narrative is that the kids are alive out there somewhere? I'm just saying. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they were taken at night. That's what I think. So a little bit of truth in there, Osprey. I think they left let's put it this way. I think they left the home at night. Yes. No, 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 no. I don't think they're alive anyway, but I hope I'm wrong. Defensive blame game, yes. Oh, Lily, thank you so much. I appreciate that. If anybody got a membership from either Lily or Drippy, please thank them. And you're going to get Lacey's thank you today. That's my almost 12-year-old dog who thinks she's still a puppy. You've been thinking they are working with Malaya? Yeah. Yeah, I sincerely hope they're onto something too. And if that's the case, if Malaya suspects something or told everything that she knows, I sincerely hope that's the case. And in that case, I can understand why she has kept quiet. Yep. Well, hasn't that been Daniel's and Durwood's narrative. So did we really think that Janie was going to give any other kind of narrative? They're all blaming Malaya. So, right? She has all those chickens, and Jackie boy kept letting those chickens out. That couldn't have made her very happy. Yeah, they're really out to throw Malaya under the bus for sure. Anyone know the population in their immediate area? Yeah, I don't know right now, but I think we've heard it before, and I don't remember it honestly. Put it all on her, whatever her involvement. She's not out there making a fool of herself. Exactly. She's not. And causing all kinds of drama. Guys, this all this drama with this letting out of these voicemails. I mean, how much more ridiculous can this get? It's stupid. It is stupid. So let me see. That's a good point, Drippy. She's jealous of the sympathies people have for Belinda. Hello, Kimberly. Welcome in. We're happy to have you. Belinda said she knows, in my opinion, about Janie. I think she knows something as well. I think she has guilty knowledge, and I think Mike DeMann is going to be talking about that a little bit later on tonight. I heard early on that the property has been in Daniel's family for many years. Is this true? And if so, anyone else find it interesting? Yeah. We all talked about that early on, didn't we, guys? Did Janie move out of the trailer so that Daniel and Malaya could have it because of the kids? I mean, I don't know. Daniel's dad owns a property and adjacent one. I do find it weird she's in the RV. Yeah. Very strange. I mean, I don't know. Nova Scotia is 22,000. Gotcha. And you're picking up anger issue vibes. Gotcha. Yeah, Drippy, we're not going to mention names in here, okay? I'm not going to put that name out. So true, Joe. So true. You can't fix stupid. Yeah, and their in Lansdowne station is smaller. Yes. I don't know why everyone wants to defend Malaya. If everything points at her, maybe she will start talking. Nobody is trying to defend Malaya. Eumenti, you've been around long enough to know that I have stated my opinion that there's some guilty knowledge. She has some guilty knowledge. Having said that, she hasn't come out and spoken, and I do give her kudos for not speaking. I do. All right, so let's go to part 2. These are out of order, so
I'm going to give an opinion on here, and this is my opinion and my opinion only. I think Sunny should watch what she says about people. She has very, very bad accusations about people, and I do not like it. The reason I am on Facebook is because I will not go on her, because she has her opinion, yes, but her accusations towards people is terrible. And I don't like the way she nags Daniel all the time to come on and defend himself. That is up to Daniel to do that, not her agitizing and antagonize him to do it.
okay. I'm stopping it right there. I want to hear everything that's out there, what Janie has to say. But guys, again, what Janie is saying is not my opinion. I will not get caught up in disrespecting any other creators. I'm not defending any other creators, but I'm not going to disrespect them either. So I'm just putting that out there. And please make sure that even in chat, you guys do not discuss other creators, okay? I'm just putting that out there right now because she's talking about a creator. And if you don't know who that creator is, then you don't, sorry, but I'm not going to bring it up here. Sorry, Joe, I deleted your comment because we don't put other creators in chat. Yeah, no, it's just another podcaster. So, that Sunny, that Janie is not happy with. And that's Janie's opinion, right? It's not an opinion of this channel. We're not going to go there.
And I do not go on any other buddy's show. I went on Facebook there a while ago, and I tried to explain to people, give people timelines, and they just screwed it all up. So I went off there. And that was my opinion about Brenda. Just like everybody else has opinions. So if everybody took it the wrong way, I'm sorry. I will say Darren did get some things wrong with what I said, but in my interview and on here, I am correcting what he said about events. I am telling my...
Imagine that. Darren was deceptive. Oh my goodness. We knew that, didn't we? We looked at his statement analysis and we knew that Darren wasn't telling the truth.
Truth about my side of what happened.
Okay. That really irritates me because there is no my truth. Yeah, nope. She's not talking about family. That was funny. But yes, I mean, the fact that she said, I'm just telling my truth, that's a big, huge flag right there, guys, because there's only one truth, the truth of what happened. And we don't know that yet. So she's telling a narrative is what she's telling. And why do we know it's a narrative? Because we can hear her flipping pages as she's talking. She's going off a script.
On May 1st, nobody was here. On May 2nd, when Jack and Lilly disappeared, the people that stayed here on May 2nd was Malaya's 2 great aunts and Malaya's grandmother stayed the night. On that Friday, May 2nd, the ones that were in the trailer, which was a family reunion, was Malaya's mother, Cindy, Malaya's grandmother, Patty, Malaya's aunt, I don't know her name, I never met her, Malaya's 2 great aunts, I never met them, and Cindy's boyfriend. We're all in the big trailer, eating, drinking coffee. I don't believe any of them went out searching. On that Saturday, after everybody left, after the fight or the altercation at the end of the driveway, everybody left except Malaya's grandmother Patty was here, and she was going to stay the night. But I think it was Corey, Haley's boyfriend, came and took her. She did not want to leave. But Corey came and took her, and they all left. There was nobody here after that when everybody left on Saturday evening. The reason why I know who was all in the kitchen on Friday night was I went in to tell Malaya that me, Justin, and myself were going back out on the bike to search for Jack and Lilly. Malaya was sitting on the couch on her phone with Meadow on her chest. And the only thing that Meadow said to me was, Janie, do you want me to shut your chickens in for you? And I said my chickens were the least of my worries. I was more worried about going out looking for Jack and Lilly. And I also want to say the day that I was crying, that Belinda showed up, Malaya came out and put her head on my shoulder, which it should have been the other way around. And yes, Justin did cry because I was crying. And Justin felt bad for me because I was blaming myself for not getting up and checking on Jack and Lilly. That's the reason why Justin was crying, because he was crying because I was crying. And he was also crying because he was upset about Jack and Lilly disappearing.
Wow. What do you think, guys? She broke down. And she said Justin was crying because she was crying. I don't know if that's true. Typically, men do not cry because somebody's crying. They cry because they're sad, right? So let's see. You're funny, Drippy. That's hilarious. Jerry Springer kind of thing, right? I don't, yeah. Well, yeah, she didn't even go into that yet, right? Or what? She didn't correct anything about that. Well, she said she doesn't know what happened to them. So, um, let's see. I believe we're over. Malaya's family did not search. Well, she said to be fair, she said she didn't know that any of them searched, right? But here's the thing, guys. I could have sworn, and I'd have to go back and look, but in those first couple of days, didn't that lead search lady come out and say they don't want the public out there searching? I could have sworn that's what they said. I could be wrong. Really good point, Ginger. So if they were not out searching, how could they have planted the blanket? Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe they are all magicians. They made Lilly and Jack go poof. Yeah, and Tammy, I don't think they legally could come up on YouTube, honestly. Not to talk about a case that's ongoing. Yeah, she did say Meadow spoke to her about the chickens, but I think she meant Malaya because I don't think Meadow talks. And that was kind of a dig at Malaya, wasn't it? The last thing I'm worried about is my chickens, right? Offered Jack and Lilly as an afterthought there. She put the tears in the right place. Here's what I'll say. If the tears were real, I think they're because of being afraid of what could happen. I'll just say that. If they were. I mean, I don't know. When you're listening to audio, it's kind of hard to tell if someone, is getting teary-eyed or, if it's real, right? Well, there is one thing that Durwood said, or we like to call him Bewitched here on Granny's Crime Busters, but he did say that Janie was no one to mess with. and that she tells it like it is. I think he was truthful when he said that, because that's kind of what I'm getting from her vibe, right? The louder she gets, the more people will believe her. Could be true, Phoenix. Big possibility she was played and then dragged into it. Yep. I mean, I think that there's a possibility, right? Those kids could have been taken off that property without her knowing about it, and then after the fact, she was maybe told. Is that why her and Justin were crying? I'm just saying, and you know what I'm saying? I yeah. Well, because we don't have all the details. We don't have all the facts, right? There's very little facts in this case. The one fact we know is there was a pink blanket, because our CMP is doing forensic analysis on it. The other fact, we know that they're gone, right? We know that they were seen the day before. Other than that, there's not a lot of facts. So it's hard to know, but I agree. I believe that Malaya and Daniel have guilty knowledge. I'm starting to think that Janie has some guilty knowledge. I wonder if Justin has some guilty knowledge. Durwood, Mr. Bewitched, I don't know that he has any guilty knowledge. I think he just, I don't know. He's spinning a narrative that was told him, in my opinion. Yeah, they did. They told Daniel he couldn't search anymore. So, yes, Sandra, my truth equals my story. Yep. And you might as well just say that my story is, because that's what it is. Yes. Janie, Justin, and Daniel were all three on the ATV. Daniel was on the front. But Janie and Justin were on the ATV, and they found Daniel on the pipeline. Isn't that interesting? Was it the same area that the blanket and the boot print were found? I'm just saying, it's a little bit suspicious in my opinion. Hello, Eliza. Good to see you. Malaya had more support than they expected. She sounded a bit annoyed that there was a family reunion. Very good point. Very good point. Because one of the things that has been brought up, and again, hearsay, speculation, but just because of what Malaya said in her text to Belinda, that Daniel did not want her bringing the kids over to see Belinda, and he didn't want Malaya giving out their address. So that spoke to me of some kind of control and isolation, DB thing going on there. So it would make sense that Janie and Daniel would not like the fact that Malaya had family around her. Right? That just speaks volumes to me about that. Exactly. There is a protocol. And Not, they didn't want anybody, messing up the trail. Oh, me too, Anne, me too. Malaya even told Belinda that authorities didn't want the public searching. Yes. Right? And yes, Walla, your story is your story. Truth is different. The truth is the truth. There's nothing else but the truth, right? Yes, Haley found the blanket. Yes, and Logan said she was 2 seconds behind her. Yeah, there's a little bit of anger going on, but I kind of sense panic and fear in her voice as well, Eliza. I really do. I just get the feeling that she was only trying to stop gossip about her and her boys. Why Justin was crying. Yeah, she brought it up. Didn't sound like she was asked that question. Yeah. Two seconds could mean 5 minutes for all we know. Yeah. Yeah. If she was in a domestic violence situation, that's not good. Well, thank you. And Canadianness, welcome in. We are happy to have you. Yes, it was down on a road right by the pipeline where near the boot print. Hello, Chelsea. Welcome in. And she said lots of family came to help search. The search team said they could not tell us not to help search, but advised general public not to. Gotcha. Are you family, Chelsea? Chelsea? I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Yeah, Durwood did say that about Janie. She'd blow a hole right through you. Yes. Yeah, I've heard different stories again now saying it was not about rugs. So who knows, right? Jack and Lilly deserve to be found, to be held, to be honored. May every prayer spoken for them be heard and answered. The time is now. Yes. Someone needs to talk because someone needs to confess, to get it all off their chest, to stop hiding things because I don't honestly believe their bodies will be found, in my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. I really, really hope I'm wrong. Oh, I love that song, Tosima. I love Elvis, but yes, caught in a trap. Can't turn back. I agree, Drippy. I mean, I don't think they should have. They had enough other searchers out there. Right. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where I'm sure that I've heard the town, but it doesn't stick with me. So did Daniel say he was on an ATV because he didn't want folks to know his mommy was riding him around on the handlebars? Could be. The Mackenzie clan like to stick together. Malaya is not a Mackenzie or a Martell. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree, Pierre Warrior. Um, wouldn't be a good thing for them to find bodies, right? It just wouldn't. Yeah. Well, and here's the other thing. I mean, look at John Ramsey. He found John Bonet and carried her upstairs. Took the thing from around her neck, carried her upstairs. Whoa. You want to talk about contaminating crime scene evidence, huh? Yeah. Very suspicious, right? Two sugars. Well, thank you so much. That's so sweet. I appreciate you. And you're awesome. All right. These people all need to just be quiet. I couldn't have said it better, Sandra. And when they say the children disappeared or the disappearance just vanished into thin air, they just, yeah, just poof, poof, they're gone. How does a 6 and a 4-year-old? You know, it's bad enough. Like in Sebastian's case, you got a missing teenager. Bad enough, right? Jonathan Huang, missing autistic male, right? 2 children, 2 babies, 6 years old and 4 years old. How does that happen, guys? They don't just go poof. I'm telling you, they don't. That's true, Chelsea. All extended family believe the children were lost in the woods. Yeah, exactly. They did. So they're going to want to do, I get that. They're going to want to do everything that they can. I'm trying to think if I was like an extended family member, I'd be like, what can I do? Can I get out and help search? Right? Yeah. I could see that. I could see that, honestly. Doesn't mean that I think they should have been allowed to search, but I can see them wanting to and believing that they were in the woods because that's what they were told, right? She's saying, bottom line, look away from Danzo, focus on, yes, that's exactly what she's saying without saying it. That's a good point, Lori. Crying for herself and her son. You know, they've got a lot of heat on them, right? A lot of backlash. But I'm here to say they're bringing it on themselves. Stop talking to YouTube. Stop talking to social media. If you're going to talk, you talk to mainstream media. And is that weird for a YouTube creator to say? Probably, but I have never believed that that's what you won't ever see family of missing children talking on my panel, because I don't want it. Only causes problems for the family and for the channel. Oh, the channel may blow up, no doubt, right? Does every creator want that? Yeah. But not at the risk of drama. At least this creator doesn't. So yeah, she just said that. We just listened to it, Ementi. Good point. It's not about Jack and Lilly, but about her and her victim's victimhood, her family's victimhood. And where did we see that recently? Proudfoot's and Sebastian's case, right? What are they always concerned about? Their family, them being the victim, them being, people saying bad things about them, right? She has done one. I heard it's coming out Friday. This Friday. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true, but I think it's true that she's done one. David and Catherine, welcome in. Both families and their friends are making this into a 15-minute of fame show. This isn't about any of them. I agree 100%. 100%. And that's what happens when they come and talk and go into chats and go into private chats on groups. Oh, that's what happens, right? And then they wonder why people pick it up and talk about it. Well, because we're trying to figure out what happened, right? But the thing is, we're not getting answers. We're at least not honest answers, in my opinion. Hello, Ravenstar. Welcome in. Good to see you. The only ones that know are Daniel and Malaya. No one else. Anyone else is just guessing. I think that Janie and Justin may know, but I don't know for sure, right? Yes, it's definitely turned into a 3-ring circus. And I was really hoping that this case wouldn't turn into something like Sebastian's did. I agree with you, Tosima. If the bodies were buried, the dogs would have found them. They were not buried. They were not put in the woods because, in my opinion, if you're trying to cover something up and you don't want bodies being found, and you're an avid fisherman who was in fishing tournaments and knows the waters around there, what are you going to do? You're going to dump them in the Bay of Fundy and you're going to time it purposely so that they're carried out into the ocean where their bodies would never be found. Yes. I like the fact that our CMP is asking for help with this case. I think that's incredible. They don't have an ego trip. Wentworth is where Malaya's mom lives. Okay. I agree with you, Chelsea. I do. You're being told the children are lost in the woods, you want to do everything to help. I get that. Yeah. I get that 100%. I'm interested in knowing what the 8,000 thing was. I don't know what you're talking about. The 800 tasks. I think they break down what they're supposed to do, and they have lists, and that's how they came up with 800 tasks. They have a list of things that they need to do from all the tips and video that they have gotten in. Yeah. That's a good point to explore. Could have been a little bit of tension there, right? A little bit of resentment. It just means like well, hello, Mike. Good to see you back. I believe Daniel's mother is telling the truth. Her kids and dogs in the morning went missing. Gotcha. Well, you're entitled to your opinion. I just don't happen to believe that myself, but let's not name other channels, okay? I'm gonna delete that comment. I'm sorry, not because of you or anything like that, just because we don't name other channels in our chat. And nothing against any channels, so if we let one in, we have to let all in, and I don't necessarily want that. Excuse me. I mean, everybody's got their own opinion, right? Yes, Eliza, I agree. Having Daniel and any family running through the woods, the ones living on the property, could throw off the dog's tracking and also muddy the track. I agree with you. They're all reading from the same script. I agree. Children most definitely don't just disappear, and I totally don't believe they walked off into the woods by themselves. No. Well, the dogs would have picked up their scent. They would have been found. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that so much. And all right. allergies are kicking in with a stupid cough, guys. Oh yeah. He was in a tournament, several tournaments, on Facebook. I can't remember the name. I'm trying to think of the name of the group on Facebook that shows his pictures on all the fishing tournaments. Let me see if I can find it. I took all the pictures and screenshotted them, but there was one that had lunker trunk. So let's see. I will pull it up for you guys. That picture. Yeah, the name of the fishing tournament was Lunker Trunk. But I will show you in just a second here. It's a matter of finding it again. Oh, there it is. Oh well, I can't get it up, but yes, there was a fishing tournament. You cross the North Cumberland Strait. Yeah. Someone told me that the North Cumberland Strait, though, doesn't push out into the ocean. In fact, the ocean more pushes things up onto their shores. So that's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but can you guys hear me all right? Does anyone know the names of the friends Daniel had with him on the pipeline trail? Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely an experienced fisherman. There's no doubt. No doubt in my mind at all. I'm sure knows the waters because when you're when you're fishing in tournaments, you go to many different places, right? So, um, I think that he has definitely been in, many different places in that area for fishing. So just trying to get it so I can bring it up here. I have it saved, but it's not working with me here today. And it could be because of the weather and StreamYard trying to work together. But we'll see here real quickly. Here we go. I found it. So this is on, there's many pictures of him on this site. It's Lunker Trunk, and Daniel Martel was the only member to post 6 different species of fish. If he could post 6 different species of fish, it kind of tells you something, doesn't it? And that is exactly why I think that if there was a cover up and they tried to hide their bodies, I think he took them, that they'd be dumped into the ocean. That's my opinion. I hope, guys, that I am wrong. North Cumberland Strait is just a section of ocean between the mainland Nova Scotia and PEI. Gotcha. Yeah. So remember that Mike Demand is doing a video tonight on Janie's videos, right? And so if you guys don't watch it on your own, we will be going through it tomorrow to see what his statement analysis is. But just to give you an idea, in all caps on his title, it says deception detected. So that kind of gives you an idea of what he thinks right from the get-go. So but anyway, my grannyism for tonight is when people cover for the misdeeds of others, they are as guilty as those who committed the crimes. So if anyone is out there, anyone that's involved in this case and you're covering for any misdeeds, come clean. Because I mean, you could be looking at serious charges, number one, right? It's not good. It's not a good thing. So yeah, the North Cumberland Strait is closer to where they live, but the Bay of Fundy is only like an hour and 45 minutes away. Easily be done in the middle of the night. So But anyway, I'm not doubting the difficulty. I am questioning his remarks if he is an outdoorsman. Was he taking a jab at those who have not helped search, or about his sacrifices? Yeah. Fundy wouldn't make sense for timing and go on the main highway. Yeah, I mean, it depends on when he left, right? You know, I'm just putting that out there that I think the kids are in the ocean, and without taking them actually to the ocean, the Bay of Fundy does go out and in, right? Every 6 hours, up to 50 feet of water every time. So, thank you, Erin. I appreciate that. I try to keep it that way. And those that don't want to abide by the guidelines, I just, I want this to be a safe place for people to explore and analyze cases, and I, you know, and don't want the drama involved in all of it, because I sure don't. You're in Cumberland County. Gotcha. Well, I mean, I don't live there. I was just looking on the map and talking to a few people who do live there, who said the North Cumberland Strait, washes things back up instead of taking things out to the ocean. Whereas the Bay of Fundy does take things directly out to the ocean. And depending on, I mean, you left at 10 o'clock at night. Yes, he'd be on the main highway. So, I mean, could he be seen? Absolutely. Absolutely. But if he did it before they reported the children missing, then they have to backtrack and look through all of the camera video, which they said they have lots of footage that they're looking through. So who knows, right? But I want to thank you guys for all being here, for being respectful. I appreciate you all so much, more than I can say. I love the community that we are building here, the family that we have, and just thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you all will have a great evening, and please hit the like button on the way out. We will see you tomorrow night. Have a great night. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.